him and with him and in him.
Hello guys, welcome back to Christianity Reloaded. Today we examine this Eastern Orthodox YouTuber that claimed that the Eastern Orthodox Church is the one true church founded by Jesus Christ. And he was answering a question by a female caller that wanted to know. She was encountered. People are saying to her that Catholic Church is the one true church. So this guy wanted to respond to that objection, and I'm gonna come back. I want you to listen a bit of what he said, and we continue. And this is educational for educational purposes. YouTube should take note in case of copyright. And I'll be back to, analyze what he said. Just watch the video, this short clip, and I will come back, and I will play another short clip, and I will come back. Okay, please stay tuned.
Please. The fact that people keep claiming that the Catholic Church is the true Church of Jesus. Do you have any idea, one, where that claim comes from, and two, do you know any rebuttals against it? And am I right in assuming that you're also Orthodox, or are you just suggesting that?
No, I'm Eastern Orthodox, yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything to do with that?
Yeah, so, and I have a lot of Catholics that support me, so, but I'm very honest on where my position is, okay? So this is all respect to the Catholics, but there's only one, there's a church that Jesus Christ established. We all agree on that, right? And he established it with his apostles. And we can trace the church that Jesus established based on what we would call as apostolic succession. So what clergy exists in today's world that actually has a historical trace that goes back to the apostles, right? Now, the Catholic Church has that. And the Eastern Orthodox Church has that too, but they split, okay? So early on, there was 5 jurisdictions when the church was first established in the first 3 centuries. And those jurisdictions were Alexandria in Egypt, which is where the Oriental Orthodox come from. You have Constantinople, and you have Antioch, Jerusalem, and then Rome. That's where the Roman Catholics come from. Jerusalem, Antioch, Constantinople, and then Alexandria as well remained within the Eastern Orthodox Church, even though the Orientals broke off early on. Okay, Rome completely seceded and became Roman Catholic.
Hello. So we are back again as you listen to what he said. To be fair to him, in this section of the clip, which is not the final one, and he said that both Eastern Orthodox and the Catholic Church can trace their origin from the apostle, like they have apostolic succession, which is true. Like both Catholic and Eastern Orthodox have their root from the apostle. Their churches are founded by the apostles. They can trace their roots all the way back to the apostles. And that's that's true aspect. And now, as he continued with that video, he said that he has a Catholic, subscribers, people that are Catholic, that are listening to him. But this guy, is a Protestant convert to the Eastern Orthodox, and most of them, when they are from Protestant and they converted to Eastern Orthodox, they have this kind of negative view about Catholic Church. You know what I mean? They try to proselyte, and they try to convert Catholics. But in Catholic Church, in Catholic paradigm, we don't convert Eastern Orthodox. We don't go and preach for them to convert to Catholic Church. But this is not what we're talking about. We are looking at the claim that he made. That's how to know that the church is his church is the one true church founded by Jesus Christ, which I'm going to address. And I want to play this clip again, and I'll come back and address his claim.
Has that too, but they split. Okay, so early on, there was 5 jurisdictions when the church was first established in the first 3 centuries, and those jurisdictions were Alexandria in Egypt, which is where the Oriental Orthodox come from. You have Constantinople, and you have Antioch, Jerusalem, and then Rome. That's where the Roman Catholics come from. Jerusalem, Antioch, Constantinople, and then Alexandria as well remained within the Eastern Orthodox Church, even though the Orientals broke off early on. Okay, Rome completely seceded and became Roman Catholic. This is in 1054. Okay, so now both of these churches, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church, can claim apostolic succession, but they both can't be the true church. One has to be in error, the other one has to be right. Okay, so the way you determine that, the way I did, okay, was when I look at history, we see that the first, second ecumenical council, so from the Council of Nicaea in 325 or whatever it was, all the way to 787 Council of Nicaea II, and everything in between, these 7 councils are in agreement with the Catholics and the Orthodox. Now, the ecumenical councils were agreed to never to be dogmatic and authoritative to the church, and they cannot change anything from these councils unless they do another council together, where all the patriarchs come together and agree on something. The problem is the Catholics made a change on the second ecumenical council where they added 3 words to the Nicene Creed. And that's the word, and the 3 words, and the Son, or in Latin, the Filioque. And when confronted about this change of the creed by the East, the Catholic Rome said, well, we had to make the change because of some heresy they were battling, another Arianism heresy, and they said that we have the authority to do that because of the Pope. And the East said, no, you cannot. We agreed that everything that needs to be changed has to be done within a council. You guys made that change without a council. You guys are in error. The Catholics said, no, we're not. We've always had authority to do that. And that's where the argument settles in. Now, the question is, who's right and who's wrong? Did the Pope always have authority to do things outside of a council, or did he not? When you look at the first 1,000 years of history, in my estimation, it's more accurate to see through the evidence that that wasn't the case, that everything was done through a council, not just by one jurisdiction. And therefore, I concluded that the Eastern Orthodox Church is the true church, and the Catholics are in error. So
That's brilliant one.
Yes, we are back again to address his major claim. If you look at his objection or his claim about Eastern Orthodox Church being the one true church that Jesus Christ founded, he made all his argument based on tradition, which is good. If you are one of the Asian churches, you can base your argument on tradition. But sometimes tradition alone, sacred tradition alone, is not sufficient to prove your point. You see that he didn't even quote any Bible. He didn't go to the scriptures at all. And there's a reason why he doesn't want to go to the scriptures. But that because the Eastern Orthodox Church cannot, they cannot use scripture and tradition and arrive at their point without contradicting either one of them. You know what I mean? But for the Catholic, we have a sacred tradition. We can use it to prove our point, and we can use scriptures as well. That's why he didn't go to scriptures. He just said that when he looked at 1,000 years of the church, most of the major decisions were made through ecumenical councils. And we know that the Orthodox Church are big on ecumenical councils. This is their major stuff. But the problem with their standard as an ecumenical council is this. If we use that standard today, do you know that Eastern Orthodox Church today cannot convene ecumenical council? They can't. And if you cannot use this council, you say that this is the method to provide a doctrine, which means that church is dead. You can use something and it becomes obsolete. You know what I mean? The ecumenical council, if it's something like that this is the standard to go about stuff, it can become obsolete. You see, the difference with the Catholic Church is that we have a magisterium, the teaching office of the church, and we have tradition, and we have scriptures. And all of them are still alive today. None of them is obsolete. Because the Catholic Church today can convene ecumenical council, which Eastern Orthodox cannot convene. And another problem by going back to let's look at what church did in 1,000 years to know that this is how to know true churches. Look at what they did in 1,000 years. Is even wrong as well. It's just about going back, because even when we look back, because if you're gonna look back, don't just look back to 1,000. Look back to the beginning. Like the church started with the 12 apostles, which all of them are Jews. Can you tell me if the church is progressing with 12 apostles anymore? When does it become obsolete? When does it stop being standard of having 12 apostles all the time? You see, because the church, if you are going back to the back in the years, it's not sufficient enough, because the church progresses, it makes changes. Because he made an argument again. He said that the Orthodox Church have not made any changes, that the Catholic have changed. This is a argument like somebody Muslim will make. Say that Quran is unchanged. This is not an argument. You know what I mean? Because the church must change. It's like a mustard seed; it grows. You know what I mean? So this is an insufficient argument. I don't think this is gonna convince even this lady that's called. It will convince him, because it's not convincing. But when we look at this tradition, and we look at the scriptures, we see that the Catholic Church have a big claim to make. You cannot, because when you look at Matthew 16:18, talk about when Jesus was giving, Jesus said that on this, he said to Peter that his rock is going to build his church on him, and he gave him the kingdom. He gave him the keys of the kingdom of God. And whatever he bind on earth. And this guy said that when the issue with the Catholic Church is about filioque, where Jesus Catholic change, just not change, but just put something on Nicene Creed about the Spirit proceeding from the Father and the Son. And so he said that their defense was that they have right to do it. The Pope have right to alter some doctrine, which he have, because you can see in Matthew 16:18 that is clear. And if they're doubting like the Pope is not the head of the church, when you look at the book of John as well, you see that Jesus said, I think John 21:15-17, Jesus said that, told Peter to feed my sheep. You love me 3 times, and 3 times, so that because Peter denied him 3 times, he wanted Peter to recount that denial and profess the love for Christ, which he did 3 times, and he said, feed my sheep. You see, he didn't say his sheep, the apostle is part of the sheep he wants him to feed, which means there's authority, there's a hierarchy there. So, and when you look at even the Orthodox claim that if you go to 1,000 years, you cannot find any document that said Orthodox Church there. You only see most of documents you see in early churches is about Catholic Church, one Catholic and Apostolic Church. Even though the Orthodox claim that look, we are Catholic Orthodox Catholic Church. They just want to exact that Catholic there, because they find out look, the church there, even before Father the church fathers talk about is about Catholic Church. It's not Orthodox Church. You know what I mean? Now they're acting like they're Catholic, but how to know that they're just putting something away? It's not like if you say that Catholic is doing something bad, like in the world, Orthodox Eastern Orthodox say no, we're not Catholic. You see what I mean? Because the world know who is Catholic enough. You know what I mean? The Catholic Church, once you mention the Catholic Church, then the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, the head of the church, which the way Christ intended it to be. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our video. Peace.